You know, some of these videos take hours of preparation, planning, a lot of note making, and, you know, figuring out exactly what I'm going to say and doing research, and some are just fun to make. This is one of those fun videos. You know, when I moved to Winston-Salem in summer of 2019 from the suburbs of Chicago, and I was coming into my first fall season that year, someone that lived here a really long time told me, if you ever want someone to visit Winston-Salem and not want to go home, like a friend or family member that you want to move here, have them come here in the fall. It is amazing. And I have to tell you, that was the absolute truth. Fall in Winston-Salem is an incredible, incredible time. And one of the things I really like about Winston-Salem is we have a really long fall season here. Because we are far enough north in the south, fall is my favorite, but yes, summers are hot, but we do get some relief around mid-September. Now it could be, you know, 80 degrees the next day after that, but we tend to get some crisp, cool fall weather starting in September, and that will go all the way through, you know, really well into December. We have great fall temperatures to be able to do a lot of fun things in the fall. So let's talk about my 5 favorite things about the fall in Winston-Salem. I'm not going to go over a ton of specifics in this video. I did make the ultimate guide to fall. It looks like that. I'll also link it in the description below where you can see a lot more specific things to do. I'll talk about some of them, but these are just my favorite things about the fall in Winston. If you need help buying or selling real estate, my contact information is in the description as well. But my first favorite thing about fall in Winston-Salem is just being in the outdoors. We've just come through, it was likely, you know, a hotter summer, hotter than I'm used to. And I just really appreciate being able to get out in the outdoors in the fall. You know, hiking out here is amazing all times of year, but in the fall, it's just something extra special. If you've never been up to Pilot Mountain when the leaves are changing, it is utterly amazing. It is beautiful. We go there every single year in the fall. And they have all types of different trails there, you know, from a little bit more, you know, of a strenuous hike to ones that are really simple, or even if you just want to drive up to the top and go out on the lookout, you know, Pilot Mountain is beautiful, but there are other great spots to hike around town as well. Or even just if you want to be outdoors and just in a park like Bethabara Park on the northern side of town, or Tanglewood Park down in Clemens, or kind of more in the center of town, you have Ronaldo Gardens and Trails, just great places just to be outside in the fall in Winston. Then there's also a lot of great family-friendly activities to do outside in Winston in the fall as well. You have things like pumpkin patches and corn mazes like at Jones Strawberry Farm or Alpha and Omega. There are a few different places where you can go take the family on Spooky Woods tours that are, you know, not too scary. You know, there'll be a range of that stuff from really kid and small kid friendly to all the way to more, you know, haunted woods type things. Or you can get out and do a tour at something like Carolina History and Haunts, a fun time for the whole family. But just doing as many things as you can outdoors in the fall in Winston is just a great time. My next favorite thing about fall in Winston is the events, and there are a ton of events, big and small, going on in the fall. We've talked about before how Winston does just an excellent job with things to do, but in the fall there are things going every single week, multiple things going on every weekend. There are big events and small events. You have on a larger event, you have like the Carolina Classic Fair, which is always a really big deal here. That's a 10-day fair that's really popular. You also have something like the Piedmont Craftsman's Fair. Also on the larger event side, you know, the fall in Winston is a great time to go see some outdoor sports. Wake Forest Demon Deacons football or Winston-Salem State University, the Rams, go out and see a football game. Those are always big events in the fall. This is a good college sports town, so those are always fun. So not only do you have a lot of large events, you have some really great neighborhood events throughout the city and suburbs as well. For instance, the Ardmore neighborhood has a fun run and food drive. You have Harvest Fest in Clemens, concerts in the park in Louisville, apple festivals, just all kinds of different things and events all throughout the fall. A really good website to go take a look at events any time of year, but especially in the fall when they get really full, is the Go To Winston-Salem. They do an excellent job on their events page with all different kinds of things to do. No matter almost whatever you're into, there's a little something for everyone, but just a ton going on in events in the fall as well. My next favorite thing about fall in Winston is date nights or just being out socializing. Fall is an excellent time in Winston-Salem to go see some outdoor live music, and there is tons of it going on, just about any type of music that you're into. Always tons of great places to go and listen to live music. Also on the date night or socializing thing, there are places that have cooking classes or pop-up chefs. You know, Southern Home, they have a pretty full cooking class schedule that's fun to go do. Also for date nights or just socializing, the wineries and vineyards around here, they're just so beautiful. When the leaves start to change in the fall, it's a great place to go and just hang out. If you're not into wine, a lot of them have beer or other non-alcoholic choices as well. But just to go out, sit, relax, and enjoy some beautiful scenery around the Yadkin Valley, or even some closer to town like Metaloni Cellars, is just a beautiful place to go out and have a nice date night or socialize in the fall. If you want to do something a little bit off the beaten path in fall in Winston-Salem on a date night, you can go take a rickshaw tour downtown. You can go to Sawtooth School of the Arts, and they have a ton of classes available. And these will range from anything like a simple 2-hour class or 2.5-hour class, all the way to really in-depth workshops and just about any type of thing if you're into the arts, from glass blowing, photography, painting, pottery, and on and on. Sawtooth is great for just some date night or just social gatherings to go and take a class in the arts. Or if you're a homebody, it's beautiful outside, have a fire pit at the house, sit out, have a glass of wine or a drink. Roasted marshmallows, just relax in your own backyard is amazing as well on a date night. And speaking of weather, that's my next favorite thing about fall in Winston-Salem. Fall is amazing. It has quickly become my favorite time of year here. The weather is cool and crisp, still plenty warm during the day where you can wear shorts oftentimes during the day, and then it cools off really nice in the evening. The humidity goes away, the leaves are starting to turn. The weather in the fall in Winston-Salem is just awesome. We had people down here from Illinois and Indiana from my family last summer when my son graduated, and it was hot. I'm telling them, I just come back during the fall, you will love it. Some of my family's been here in the fall, and it is just gorgeous. The weather here, fall is amazing. And my next favorite thing about fall in Winston-Salem is the food and drinks this time of year. As someone that's not the biggest fan of Southern food, sorry.
Get out.
It's just not my favorite thing. I'll have it once in a while, but the fall food in Winston-Salem is just amazing. One, for me, it's kind of when that, Southern, food that can be a little bit heavier just tends to be a little bit more comforting this time of year. But also restaurants do some really great fall dishes. You're just coming off the full harvest of the season, so there's a lot of different vegetables and things to choose from. The menus are just a little bit more exciting. They're a little bit comforting, still fresh, but then there's chefs that have excellent pop-ups all throughout the city, different fall dinners that you can go to. There's, campfire dinners and everything like that. The food in the fall in Winston is just amazing. But also, breweries. I'm not a huge beer guy, but when they have like the Oktoberfest or, the seasonal brews that come out in the fall, I really do like those a lot. There are breweries here that just do an excellent job all throughout the city. While I'll always prefer summer over winter, especially coming here from Chicago, I will always take summer over winter, but fall is by far my favorite season in Winston-Salem. And if you're thinking about buying or selling real estate anywhere around here, I'd love to be a resource for you. You can reach out to me directly at jeff@govalentino.com. Thanks.